Hello, this is Wisconsin, Illinois Braille Fanning, and welcome back to another installment or episode of Traffic Lights of Beloit. This episode is a pretty interesting episode as we'll be talking about the traffic light that I like to call the traffic light that was moved. Let's get to it. This is the traffic light that was on Prairie Avenue, located off of Prairie Avenue, going into the Shopko parking lot. This traffic light had a left turn signal with the typical intersection. Oh, I don't want to do that. That's why I'm looking like this. I don't want to spoil it. With the typical light that was sitting right there for the people coming out of Shopko or KFC. The left turn signal was also one of those traffic lights that used to basically give the other side a green arrow no matter what. Here's what it looked like in 2015. And then 28 and then 2018. Now earlier I guess I could have said the part right there where if you went back to that intersection or showed the traffic light that they added shaders around the traffic light. But the reason why I guess I didn't really mention it is because at that point it was useless anyways due to the fact that it was moved. So they were only there for really less than a year. In the video I already mentioned that the intersection was the intersection that moved. Well, that's because in 2019, and part of the plan for the reconstruction of Prairie Avenue to again get rid of all of these bumps. They also decided to take down the traffic lights that were in front of Shopko. But that's because in 2019, Shopko ended up closing. This obviously the traffic light's purpose was just to help the intersection and make sure it wouldn't be a problem and provide a traffic light for Pizza Hut, Shopko, and KFC. But it also raised questions on its use, considering the fact that the Prairie Road on a non-school day was not that busy. Sorry, my dog is snoring. Shopko also has a thing called the Shopko Carnivals, which I don't know if it's gonna come back because they haven't came back since the pandemic's ended. But they also had that, and even with that, it was barely really usable, nor like a problem. So in 2019, they decided to take away all these traffic lights and take them down. And what I mean by them getting moved is they got moved to Hart Road. And since we have the time, I might as well show Hart Road just to show that this is the intersection they took down. Now, Hart Road was basically different. This is what Hart Road looks like now, and this is what it looks like in July 2018. More people had a problem trying to turn onto Hart Road than ever trying to turn on to the Shopko intersection. Of course, more people will use that because why would you use a traffic light when you have a stop sign that's easily accessible? But the problem was people did not know how to turn here, so it was prone to accidents. So when they decided to redo the road, that's when they decided to realize and study that more people are coming from the hospital, which is right there, and leaving this way than just going over there and turning onto Shopko from Shopko's parking lot. So then that's when they added this traffic light. This traffic light, obviously with the pedestrian signals due to the road plan, they decided to add traffic lights in order to give this intersection a purpose. And along with that, they end up closing one lane. They end up putting a median in front of Shopko. So now the only way to turn from this intersection is to turn from here. But again, there's no point. As you can see, Beloit ended up turning Shopko into a storage unit, which really isn't it's no use at all. I don't really care about that, but I have my opinions on why I don't like that being a storage unit. So now the only way to turn on the Prairie from this intersection is only turning right. Any other changes with this intersection? Well, as you can see, like I mentioned in every other video, the overhead still got knocked down. And even to this day, despite the fact that this was taken in November 2022, this intersection still, to this day, does not have that signal replaced. It was funny because even on Facebook about when there was a post about traffic lights and adding traffic lights or something, a commenter even asked, how come that traffic light has not been replaced yet? I even made a kind of a smart comment saying, well, maybe if people in Beloit would stop running them over, they'll obviously replace them in time. Because they replaced the traffic light before. It got knocked down before. They replaced it, and then 2 weeks later, they literally knocked it down again. But this is the traffic light that I said that got moved. Do I think this traffic light has a purpose on being here? Yes. It serves a purpose for at least the hospital's intersection, as if because there's two ways that people leave from the hospital. There's a south side entrance and a north side entrance. There's even a traffic light over there that ends up switching it. Also helps out that intersection easy. But yes, this was the intersection that ended up getting moved. Thank you guys for watching. See ya.